Twitch chat, who will win? Type and let us know. Thank you. Okay now. Pick ban is about to begin. What are we thinking for this oh so important draft phase?
Yeah, I think the mages are going to be target banned. Teamy is going to be obvious. Superman, yep, they're going to take away Tulin right off the bat here. And I think Liliana as well as Flash will probably be targeted banned because these mages are just so strong. They make such a big difference. And we noticed that it's gone away from the side laners being banned and it's gone towards the mages. And Zephy's being banned is a very interesting one because that's something that Dave did play in jungle on Wednesday, but I feel like Zephy's being banned maybe works for the composition that Legends wants to run.
I would agree. I feel like this is very indicative of the sort of composition that they're going to be trying to run here. This suggests to me that this is a lot of early game aggression, and this suggests that Allegiance is going to try and run something a little bit more late game potentially, maybe look towards traditional ADC. So we'll see if they can pull that off here. If I'm the side of Immortals, I'm going to look to draft early aggression and build off. As you said, the momentum that they built off in that last game, we really need to go in, take it to Allegiance from the beginning because, again, Allegiance gets ahead, they do not look back.
Yeah, wow, they're going to ban Lubu here, or they're going to ban Superman. But instead, they're going to go for Lubu, which is an interesting ban because you're giving Superman over to Allegiance, which I feel is very, very risky. But instead, they're going to take off that Superman. So let's see Allegiance here. Are they going to first pick that Zenio, and they're going to go straight for Zenio right off the bat?
I like that here. I mean, the side laning that we've seen from Zenio has been so good. Every single time he makes that rotation, it is just impeccable here. We do see the Alice and the Tulin coming out now on the side potentially. Ooh. I actually prefer this here. I think the Wonder Woman's slightly more important. I mean, we know how powerful it is in the right hands, and I like the Tulin as well. Getting that mage early, getting that off the board, forcing Legions to respond.
Yeah, Legions may go for their signature comp here. Alice may be picked up with Ryoma. They're going to go for that stun comp and pick a Lubu. Yep, they're going to go for that CC lock composition that we see them run before. So, both draft looking pretty solid, but if Allegiance secures a Slims and another CC hero like Lubu, that's going to be really tough.
Sounds good. I mean, this really just looks like a standard as it gets. I mean, I want to try and find something. Oh, okay. I was gonna say, I want to try and find something unique coming out, but both of these teams are just opting to play this incredibly standard. This is really just may the best team win, and I love that. This just shows me that Immortals is feeling confident. They're not going to try and do anything crazy. They are just going to try and take it to Allegiance despite falling in the last 4 straight weeks of finals. They are showing that they can come out here in week number 6 and they say, we want to go toe-to-toe.
Yeah, instead of going for Lubu Slims, they're going to go for Preda and Morin here, which means that their mid lane matchup and their jungle matchup is a little weaker early against a Tulin. So let's see if they're going to go with Thane or Omar. Actually, they're going to go ahead and pick the Lumber. I wish they went for Thane here because I feel like Thane is much better into an Alice composition, but they're going to go and opt for Lumber, who's also a very strong support.
Walk us through, like, why do you prefer that Thane matchup so much here up against the Alice? Walk us through some of that thought process.
Yeah, because Alice is not a good front line. They don't really have a strong front line. They have Ryoma. Alice wants to kind of stun. So if Thane kind of gets in your face, he can get onto the Preda, charge in there. Lumber has he doesn't initiate. He has to land a skill shot ultimate. But with Thane going in there, slowing them, it allows the rest of the team to follow up. And Alice can't do anything against Thane. He goes in your face, and she can't really push him off. She can just stun him, which is what you want. So that's why.
It looks like this is going to be one of the most exciting regular season matches of the season. Do either of you feel that IMT can crank out a win today?
I mean, clearly, Suijay's thinking that here. I mean, I
think so.
I definitely think they can take a game here. Whether they take the whole series, I think that remains to be seen. And Allegiance, the favorites, but it's not overwhelming in any one direction here. I mean, yeah, 73-27 here for Allegiance, but Immortals, again, if there was any week for them to take it, it's definitely this one. They have made changes. What they were doing wasn't quite working, and they corrected that, and I respect that so much for, as a squad, identifying where your weak links are and trying to shore those up. And they're the best we've seen them since week number 1, maybe better. I love it.
Yeah, I agree.
You heard it here, folks. This is going to be a doozy. It's the finals of the final week of the Valor series. Allegiance, Immortals. Let's give it to the men with the voices more beautiful than a robot. Jeff, Paul, let's get it started.
I disagree, Robot Jump. I think your voice is amazing. And you know what? I have to say, Suijay, I haven't been this hyped for a finals matchup in a long time here because both of these teams, we've been talking about the story of this. This is a grudge match of epic proportions to start this off.
Yeah, look at this invade there. They're doing so well. Wow, they're able to push out AOG and win this invade. They're going to try to take this red golem. And an early, oh no.
That's
nice. Wow, KZ Fox was able to get that. What a play there. Nice invade. Getting KO so low and poking them out. Immortals already playing so aggressive so early.
I mean, that's exactly what they need to do. I'm talking about this in draft. I'm like, Immortals cannot let ALG get any sort of advantage in this early game because ALG does not make crucial late game mistakes. But speaking of early game mistakes, that is Rest getting caught out, our MVP of yesteryear, and now getting picked up here, and Immortals with a very confident rotation, just forcing back the jungle. I mean, they've basically not allowed Rocker to do anything so far in this game. His jungle has been their jungle.
Yeah, and CLZ, I mean, not CLZ, but you see Omen on top there. Bobo was able to push out MTS and try to trade jungle. They were not able to try and look at the damage there onto Sleepy. Wow, super aggressive plays by Dave and Neo so far. Just showing a lot of dominance in this river.
This is exactly what they need to do right now. I mean, I'm looking at this, I'm thinking to myself, all right, if Immortals can come up and do this, I mean, they can really take this to ALG here. I'm thinking maybe I should have gone the way of Immortals. Maybe I should have believed, but we'll see if ALG can recover here because it is still the early game, but almost a 1K gold lead coming out, and it's not even the 2-minute mark yet. Immortals looking so strong. However, ALG are saying, you know what, it's time for us to draw blood.
Yeah, look at that. They're on a Kexi. They get them pretty low here. Look at the rotation. They're posturing around Dragon now. They're going to try to take Dragon, and then Immortals is going to have a rotation down, and wow, what a nice Plague Spectre by Sleepy here.
That was exactly what they needed to do. Get that Wonder Woman low to start things off, but Immortals is still going to look to go in and contest this. Neo does not have his ult yet. That is huge. He's going to go in. Can I snipe this out? No! Rocker's going to get the punish. Timing is absolutely on point, and we do have the Zennial joining the fray as well. That is a beautiful Plagues that are coming in there from the Preda, but that leaves Omen alone, uncontested in the top lane, and that is what he loves to do. So the Dragon will go over, and the kill to the side of Allegiance. However, split push is coming in from Bobo.
Yeah, Bobo's going to get this tower down. I don't think he has enough damage to completely take the tower, but the next time MTS goes across the map like that, Bobo is going to be able to secure a tower because he's going to have more damage items, and it's going to allow them to win that top lane. I'm surprised they don't put Omen in the Dragon side. I feel like Dragon lane is much more important to put Omen. And look at that dodge by Bobo there, clearly expecting Rest to throw that Sunshine skill shot.
I actually don't mind this here just because, again, we know that the Zennial is going to be going cross-map constantly to work on these dragon fights, and so we're just going to allow Omen even more time up here on the Slayer side. So I actually don't mind this decision coming out here from Immortals. They do have the Wonder Woman here who's going to offer more value in these early game team fights, so having her down in the dragon lane, which is going to be the priority fight lane, I actually really dig this coming out from the side of Immortals here. So let's see how this plays out for them if they can get some solid dragon fights. They just need to make sure they do it without getting chunked down by the Preda before the fight even starts.
Yeah, we have Dave ahead of Sleepy right now with 200 gold, a little more damage items, and Tulin is this is Tulin's time to shine because he is so strong. And look at this rotation. This is gonna be really dangerous for X-Tiers here. He's gonna have to back off to get killed here.
Look at the dodge coming in from ALG. Every skill shot that Wonder Woman threw their way completely whiffed, and that was just really nice positioning from the side of Allegiance, weaving in and out there. We are going to have Immortals pick up a tower of their own in trade, but the whole side is coming in, and that is the Earth Splitter, but Neo is going to be able to get himself out. Nice dodge. The Wailing Blade from KO not going to connect.
Yeah, that's a nice trade. Allegiance comes on top because they get a kill and a tower, and really, really solid format rotation there, but Immortals trading back.
But here we have the full rotation coming in from the side of Immortals. Rest needs to be careful. He's getting caught out. The ult is going in there, but Zennial has arrived across the map. And look at the split, the damage. KO on the flank. The Preda lining them all up and knocking them down. That is Immortals biting off a little bit more than they can chew. That was a beautiful Death's Embrace onto the Alice, but the Zennial being able to come in the Angelic Splendor, the saving grace. That is that cross-map global ultimate getting so much value.
Yeah, Wonder Woman did not have her ultimate on. That global ultimate came just in time, and Preda doing so well, doing so much AoE damage. And I felt like Immortals should have focused KO there. KO was out of position. He got chunked by KZ Fox. So if they focus down, oh no, KZ Fox is going to fall to MTS there. And that's a really bad play again. And it's going to put AOG again in another big lead here. 2,000 gold now.
Yeah, this is huge, and Immortals has the right idea. It just seems like Allegiance is slightly in better position here. There's really nothing else too crazy going on here. It's just that ALG's slightly in a better posture when it comes to these fights, and they're able to sort of force Immortals back into a different position so that this prey to damage is able to line up, and you add in things, well, like the Hissy Fit, just getting even more value here as the whole side of ALG has found this rotation, pushing down this top tower of Immortals.
Yeah, and look at this invade. They're able to get this red buff, and Immortals is not going to be able to respond, and the Lumber ultimate is used without any kind of follow-up. And I feel like Neo needs to save that for the right moments, because that can change a team fight around completely. And right now, they are not being able to use their abilities to turn these fights around. ALG is just much better at team fighting, and they're showing their power. Yeah,
they're showing it here. But again, you know, ALG, they've been together as a squad for quite a long time here, and we are seeing Immortals with a slight, you know, variant of this roster. They're still getting used to playing with each other, and I think we're seeing some of these jitters here in this finals matchup. But again, Immortals only continuing to get stronger here, and we'll see how they progress as this game goes on, because of course we see teams sort of feel each other out, get the read, get the download as this progresses. So I expect Immortals are going to recover slightly in these team fights.
Yeah, and again, another, wow, look at the damage on KZ Fox. He's gonna fall, and the tower goes down. This is really unfortunate. Allegiance just continuing to snowball so hard. As a result, they're able to rotate jungle again, and this is not looking good for Immortals.
I swear Rocker's thumb, it's got to be like the fastest thing ever. I mean, his thumb is the Flash right now. It's got the speed force in its veins because his auto-attacking is just insane. His ability to just weave his way in and out of these fights, constantly doing damage, and you put him on something he's comfortable with, like that Morn, and it's so impressive to watch. The Hissy Fit goes in, the follow-up, the damage, the Morn is there, and that is a Plague Scepter. Oh, no! Look at the way they're lining this up. ALG is pushing Immortals in full retreat. The double kill. KO is going to drop. David will try and recover this, but Bobo's here on the flank. They're pushing in, they're finding it sleepy, but here's the Zennial as well, and the turn, the counter initiation coming in. Now Rocker chasing Dave in the Highland. The Malleus is there, and look at the damage from Dave. Sleepy and crew are doing so much work. Rest to follow up, and MTS.
Yeah, that Malice from Zenio of MTS is working out so well, along with Rest. Honestly, this Alice-Zenio combo is so good. They're constantly slowing, getting stuns off, and the Sleepy getting these Plague Heats, huge charge-up Plague Specters, chunking out so much of Immortals down. This is looking really rough, and like I said, Rest is doing much better than Neo in this game, and as a result, you know, Alice is making more plays, and Lumber is not being as effective and not landing clutch ultimates here that he needs to land to turn his team fights around.
I mean, you know, Neo, he likes these big playmaking supports, and Lumber is that to a degree, but just not quite enough here. Really, he's just sort of hinging on that ultimate. When that ultimate doesn't connect, they get huge value. They're just, you know, finding not what they need here in these initiation.
Oh my goodness, that damage, that is insane. The burst from Morin and Sleepy is insane. Omen just went down like nothing.
Oh man, they're pushing to the high ground too. The tower just melts like butter. Rocker is going off here. Look at this damage. The dwarf has no fear, chasing X-Tiers into the core. KZ Fox, Rocker is rocking and rolling right now as they're pushing in here. The stun is connected on a day, but it doesn't matter because the damage is there. But the core is now under threat. Allegiance is just pushing in. They are looking absolutely monstrous. They are hitting another gear right now. What is happening?
Yeah, Rocker just knows Morin's win condition. Once he has his stacks, his precision passive, he has so much lifesteal, and on top of the sheer attack speed he's able to do so much DPS, regain that lifesteal, and just keep going in. And the Immortals just need to burst him down, but they don't have the damage. They're 2 behind right now. They're almost 10k behind. They're losing jungle, they're losing dragon. Right now, it's really rough for Immortals to come back. They need a perfect team fight to come back because Allegiance is just way too ahead.
And again, great moments from Immortals in the early game. We saw them get some great initial kills, but they needed to keep that up. Again, letting Allegiance get a lead is a great way to lose games. However, if Rest overextends here, and Immortals can catch him out, that's what they need to do here. When Rest goes down, Rest is such a linchpin for this draft. He offers so much simultaneously, the shields, the speed boost, the Hissy Fits. Every single thing he is doing is like a huge play in its own right.
Yeah, it is. And Alice, they gotta watch out. They gotta be careful because Alice is doing so much work. And Bobo, level 11 versus 13, he won't be able to counter the Zenio. Even though Omen can beat Zenio, they gotta protect their towers. They can't let Rocker just take these towers down like that because this is really, really dangerous. He has his stacks up and the stun is gonna come out, doing so much damage. And look at the damage he's putting onto X-Tiers on Wonder Woman here. Rocker is just unstoppable right now.
He's just sitting in the back, just chugging away, uncontested as every high ground crown tower falls. Completionist says ALG. They're going in here. Xtears needs to be cautious. Here comes the Hissy Fit to stun, the follow-up, and that is Zenio joining the fray as well as every member of Immortals getting solo. They're pushing onto the core. That is the damage, and that is going to be ALG taking game number 1 here, forcing Immortals back onto the core. The number 1 seed coming in and showing they still have what it takes as they take game number 1.
In the words of Rihanna, shine bright like a diamond, shine bright like a diamond. And there is no diamond shining brighter than the play of Allegiance in its current standing. Every step of the way, every step on the battlefield is excellence. And where does it revolve around? Every single member, because Allegiance has a roster that can do just that.
Yeah, I mean, they did so. Even though Immortals kind of won the early game with a beautiful rotation there, but Allegiance, their 4-man rotation of bomb, they win Dragon side of the map every time, and they just snowball, they invade jungle, and honestly, their team fight is just so much better than Immortals right now, and I feel like they're rotating first, they're getting initiations first, and Immortals is just playing... They're catching up. They're trying to catch up in these team fights, and as a result, they can't really win, and Allegiance just showing utter dominance against Immortals.
I actually really love ALG putting Sleepy on the Preda because it's sort of a hero you're forced to play defensive on. You can't do crazy stuff on Preda. You just sort of sit back and throw out your abilities.
You just exist.
You just
and
exist.
Everyone they make a decision. Do we go into the damage or do we run around? And in many instances, when you take a look at Allegiance, they're going to run into the damage.
Well, they push you into the damage. They put you between a rock and a hard place, and he's in a bush off to the side, and you don't realize it, and they're forcing you back, and you're like, wait, no, oh, and you're just getting wiped down. And then the whole team is there following up. I mean, you're usually on top of a Hissy Fit while that's happening. It's just a bad time. It's just a bad time.
The way the combo with Zenio and Alice, again, that's a combo that really worked. And as a result, Plague Spectres, a charged up Plague Spectres, 300% more damage, just chunked all of Immortals, and it was just a field day for Preda coming from the backline. Rocker never got touched, and I felt like, again, Dragon side was just so important. They kept losing Dragon side. Immortals is not rotating to posture to Dragon side, letting Allegiance take Dragon control, and that snowballs for them.
And right from the beginning, this is where we see Allegiance again showing how well they can rotate, because when they get these fights, when they catch out members of Immortals, it's not 1, it's not 2, it's more, and in this case, 3 is the lucky charm.
Yeah, and that fight there, KO is so low. They should have engaged KO and went up, but instead they play right into the composition of ALG there. Zenio protected them, Preda got a huge Plague Spectre, Alice got a nice stun, and KO was out of position on the top, and KZ Fox already chunked Ryoma down. So for some reason, Immortals tried to over-aggress onto Rocker and Sleepy and just basically lost that fight completely with a really bad engage.
Yeah, the Zenio came in, was able to get that save. I mean, Alice was caught out in a beautiful Death's Embrace. I mean, that was the target. They identified it, they found it, but able to get that save, that was the key factor there, and Allegiance able to propel them forward. It was massive.
So now this is an opportunity where Immortals, while they might not want to show entire hands and strategies for the regional finals, have an opportunity to maybe sneak one out and away from Allegiance and form a game number 3. Suijay, with them on the blue side now, is there any possibility of making that happen?
Yeah, I think that they need to look at their banned drafts and do it better. I mean, again, giving Rest Alice was just so dangerous. Again, Rest just carried on the Alice. Lumber, again, I did not like that pick. Thane is way better. They have so much more success. Thane has won against Alice so many more times, and they have not won with Lumber. Lumber did not do a lot in these fights because he just couldn't engage properly, and as a result, you know, the combos that they allowed Legions to do on them just worked out in their favor. That Hissy Fit is just too much, especially in the late game.
He's so good on it, but people just keep giving it to him. I don't understand why. At some point, you just got to put this away, and now Allegiance is throwing away Scud Pans. All right, we're getting to that stage of the game here, folks.
Yeah, they're super confident. They're saying that, hey, you can get more anything you want, and we'll still beat them. And that's really how it works right now. Allegiance is just too dominant.
I mean, I think it comes down to this. You said this, the team fights. Allegiance has just been together for so long. These guys queue together. These guys play together. They grind rank together. They are constantly playing with each other, constantly on comms, constantly putting in the hours as a squad, and it's showing here. Immortals making some small tweaks, some small changes. They're just getting used to adjusting here. They're just putting in sort of that last additional time here, and I really think it's going to come down to just hours spent in the game. And Immortals, after this is over, they have 3 weeks to grind it out and practice together, and that is going to be huge going into E3.
Yeah, it is. They have to build that synergy because AOG is just a step ahead. I mean, actually, few steps ahead. Their team fighting is just better. They know who to focus. They know how to maximize and basically counter-engage. And Teamy being left up, and again, giving Ryoma a 2 KO, you know, these are very comfort picks. Oh, they're actually take Zenio instead. So Immortals definitely needs to take Ryoma here. I feel like Ryoma is a priority pick because if they give Teamy and Zenio, that's 2 stuns. You give them a Ryoma stun as well. That's going to be real. And plus, Ryoma is so strong early game along with Superman. So I feel like Ryoma is a better pickup with this 2-lane here if they want to win the early game.
I don't know. Here's the thing. I don't want to give the Malik Zenio combo over either, but now we also have Ryoma and Wonder Woman still on the board, so we could potentially see both. We want to see a jungle Ryoma here as well, or we could just see one. I would like to see KO pick up his Ryoma once again, or Omen coming out now. I think this is also a solid pick. There's so many good side laners in the meta right now. It's got to be a field day for that position.
Yeah, it is a field day for that position. And then KZ Fox going to go with the Lindis here instead. I mean, I think his Lindis is stronger than his Violet. His Violet's positioning has been a little suspect. He's been getting caught out, and I feel like he needs to contribute more in a lot of these fights. And Lindis is a much more aggressive play style, and he's able to maneuver with her. And Alice being picked up is a really good pick there. Along with Superman, that's a lot of CC coming from Immortals.
I do agree. If they can land one solid stun, they're going to be able to follow up and execute here. But once again, Rocker is going to be sitting pretty on that Morin. This is his tried and true, his bread and butter. This is where he feels at home. And then he jukes me.
Yeah, playing Marad. Marad is actually really good into Alice because Marad can just poke. Once he gets his minions, he can infinitely poke, and Alice can't really engage or stun or lock him down. So I really actually like the Marad pick that Allegiance has done.
It's not surprise, it's surprise.
Surprise!
I'm here.
Woo!
Marad
Yeah.
decides to come out. And we've talked about Marad, and I know that you, Sui J, have been wanting to see a rise in Marad. However, it seems like teams in North America haven't been able to play him up to par thus far.
Yeah, they definitely have not been able to play him before, but Rocker has a solid Marad, and I feel like the key now is they need to shut down jungle. They need to clear, to counter Marad, you clear out one side of the jungle, and then you just shove lane. Because Marad, without the jungle, his minions, and any minions for him to proc his passive and unlock his ultimate, he's pretty much useless. So if they do that every single time and just shove the lanes with Lindis, there's no way to respond. Marad is horrible at protecting lane, so Immortals needs to understand that win condition, clear jungle, and then push the lane on the side where the jungle is missing.
And they need to do that so consistently, it needs to become like breathing to them. If they give any opportunity for Rocker to go off on Marad, they're just going to get deleted. They are going to get wiped off the face of the earth. The sands of time will slowly wear them away, and it's going to be interesting. We'll see what happens.
We're going to have to wait and see if the Marad actually decides to play out, but while I have lost my voice, I want to hear yours. Head over to Twitter, use the hashtag Valor Series as we kind ourselves one win away from Allegiance taking the Week 6 finals at the end of the regular season.
Back in my day. Oh, I'm sorry, jump. Anyway, no, this is gonna, I'm so sorry. As we get into potentially our final game of the day here, Immortals needs to rally. They need to find their footing here because right now, Allegiance is looking unstoppable.
Yeah, they are. And Dave, they're going to rotate the jungle game. They're going to try to get this and push Marad out. And look at this. Oh, man. I think Rocker's able to take that. And look at the KZ Fox rotate and gain first blood. That is huge for Immortals right now.
Bobo going in there from the flank, diving in, smashing, and taking that blue buff away. That was exactly what they needed to do. KO looked to go in here and try to snipe out a blue golem in return, but not nearly fast enough on that rotation. And now the Superman is here from Bobo, gonna get back into flight mode, push him back. Oh, actually missing there. Nice juke there from KO as well. Gonna flicker himself right on out of there. That was exactly what he needed to do because the pick there could have been huge. We have the reinitiation coming in from the side of Allegiance, and Immortals need to be careful. They cannot overextend here in this early game. Any kills going the way of Allegiance to this stage could be disastrous.
Yeah, they took that red buff too, so Rocker right now is pretty behind farm. You know, it's already almost 1k gold lead for Immortals, looking really good to engage them here. And you can see why, you know, Lindis is just much better on KZ Fox here. And look at, Dave needs to be careful because, wow, look at that combo from Rest.
rest on Teamy. Not a hero he actually enjoys playing all that much. I think he's kind of, you know, a hero that you sort of just, once you play a bunch of, you just sort of like, okay, all right, mass AoE stuns, this is fun. But he is going to be using it beautifully here. The Pooty Poot's going in onto Bobo, can be able to get himself out of there, though that flight mode from Superman, always so scary here. And Bobo, one of the best side laners in North America on a hero like Superman, that's scary.
Yeah, look at this. AOG again, able to get objectives like the Spirit Sentinel. This is something you cannot do and give to AOG if you're ahead here. They got to be careful here because they're going to rotate down. And Rocker has his level 4 ultimate, but look at the damage coming from Dave. Wow.
That is absolutely huge. The Abyssal Dragon is going to go the way of Rocker, but Bobo was here on the flank. Look at the kills going the way of Immortals. That is going to be 3 clean kills going in. Nicely done. Teamy was actually getting chunked down before the fight even started. And of course, he didn't have level 4 at that stage, so that was absolutely huge. Bobo is going to force back KO, some split push going on, but it is going to be a fairly even trade between kills and Dragon.
Yeah, even though AOG got the Dragon, they got massive number of kills. And look at the lead now. It's well over 1K. That was huge. I wished Immortals turned that those kills into a tower, because that's what they need to do. And look at the damage coming from Dave onto rest there. Wow, he is going to be caught up and instantly deleted there.
Yeah, that was huge, and not getting off, that being a bro in that situation, but Neo is now going to be the target. As Sleepy and Rocker need to be careful, though. They're getting pushed around by Bobo. Sleepy almost falling there. It is Casey Fox who's going to die. The collapse coming in from KO and crew, but one more auto. Going to be able to pick up that kill, but that is huge to re-engage the Melees onto Dave as well. They're being pushed back and forth. What a brawl going on in the jungle of Allegiance, and that is going to be a 2-for-2 trade.
Yeah, what a fight going back and forth. Immortals just playing just as aggressive to respond to Immortals, and AOG is just fighting right back, and that's exactly what they need to do. They cannot continue to lose their jungle, so AOG is actually doing not bad trying to fight the aggression that Immortals is showing right now.
But it's 7 kills to 2. I mean, Immortals is coming out swinging in this game, and I feel like a lot of this is Rest playing a hero he's maybe not as comfortable on. It's a very different play style than the Alice, and this is why you banned Superman, though.
Yeah, oh my god, Bobo is just going on a tear with this Superman. He's doing so much work and so much damage that making plays. I mean, he turned that one fight around. He got 3 people knocked up into Superman's flying smash hit, and as a result, turning around all these fights and engages.
It's pretty impressive to watch because Bobo, I mean, I hashtag just Bobo things. When he's allowed to play his game, he is so absolutely terrifying. And him and MTS, I feel like, have sort of done some similar stuff where if you let them split push, they're just utter gods, utter beasts. But I feel like MTS really hasn't been nearly as much of a factor in this game, but it's been the Bobo show for sure on that Superman. If you give him a hero he can make plays with, he will set up his team for success.
Yeah, look at KO there. Going to win against Bobo. He's going to trap Superman in the Death's Embrace and win versus 1v1. And that is huge. And another death there. Really, really bad moves by Immortals there. They're handing their lead over. Another Giants be taken. AOG is going to come back right into this game.
So I need to stop complimenting people, I guess, because the second I do, they instantly die. So I'm just gonna only insult members of both teams here and then wish them both the best of luck. As the Dragon is going to go over the way of Allegiance as things are starting to move towards this mid game here. Only a 1K gold lead coming out for the side of Immortals right now. No towers have been taken on either side. As much as this has been a game of jungle invades and of fighting, it's actually been passive in terms of overall structure pushing from both of these sides. Neither one really wants to commit to a tower. They just want to scrap.
Yeah, they do. And look at Bobo. He's going to play a little safe now because it's, you know, that's why Omen's such a good dueler. 1v1, he can beat anyone in lane. And as a result, Superman is going to be, you know, pressured here against Omen and outpush, which allows KO to do some key rotations. And that Death's Embrace is going to be key to winning a lot of fights. If he can lock down anyone with that Death's Embrace and AOG focus that person down, it's going to be devastating for Immortals.
Even if they can just lock down. If he can just lock down the Superman so he can't even get into flight mode in these fights, so that's actually going to be huge too. He just needs to make sure that he can't play his game in these initiations here because it looks like Immortals is going to try and find an initiation here in the top lane. KO is going to be the target. Rip back out from under the tower. Rest is like, nah, I'm good. I'm just going to try and live.
Yeah, and look at that. Sleepy doing a really good job clearing out the lane so they can't push that tower. And X-Steers, he's getting locked down here. He's got to be careful, but it looks like Rocker is going to be able to get the kill on him. And wow, what a gank that they're doing on the bottom lane.
Just locked in. Nothing he could do in that situation. Trapped in the tower. Now Zenial is rotating up to the top. They're going to try and put a push together here. But Casey Fox rotating the mid. Going to look to get this first tower of the game here. This is what Immortals needs to be doing. Leading the charge here in this mid game. Nade needs to be cautious of the nice stun. The re-initiation there from Neo. trying to keep his team alive. There we go as we get towards this late game here. Still a lead for Immortals. Towers are falling. They're looking very comfortable. Superman's actually going to switch sides here. He doesn't want to lane against this Omen. That's absolutely huge. Yeah,
he doesn't want to lane against the Omen. And the key is here, Immortals needs to convert these. They're getting some kills, but need to convert more towers. And look, Omen has taken a free tower on top, and now the game is even. This is not what Immortals want. They were ahead, winning early game. But again, ALG just scaling so well into the late game and being able to get a lot of picks that turn around the fight for ALG. And if they keep this up, they're going to take this game for Immortals.
But ALG needs to be a little bit more careful because their win condition when it comes to Rocker is a very different position than Morin. Morin can just walk in and hurt people, and that's just what he does. But however, you look at the Murad, and it requires a little bit more going on for him to be able to set that up. His damage is a lot more conditional here. So let's see if Rocker can find those crucial conditions here as Rest is going to look to go in potentially with the Pooty Poots here. The Abyss Dragon being kited back, reset here by Immortals. Their Spidey senses are tingling as the Legion is going to look to rotate in here. Sleepy, he's been pretty quiet so far this game. This Predator needs to come online.
Yeah, look, Easy Fight. He got so low by Rocker there. This is why Murad is so strong. You can't really contest a Dragon because he's going to keep stacking a Dragon and ulting it. And as a result, Bobo's going to get caught out, and Immortals is just not responding. They are just backing off and losing these trades too hard. And look at the plays that he's making. Rocker's going to have his ultimate up anytime soon here and be able to come back in the fight. Look, he's stacking right in that minion in the back.
That is absolutely huge, but now with KO stepping too far forward, the rest of the team got the memo to get out, but KO's like, guys, we're going in! But the reinitiation from Immortals was there, beautifully done. That's exactly what they needed to do. Overstaying was Allegiance. An uncharacteristic misstep right there, miscommunication coming out from them, all set up from a beautiful initiation from Rest and KO to start that off, getting the pick onto the Superman. Bobo getting chunked down there, the Death's Embrace. Once they followed up on that, that's exactly what they need to do. They get the Dragon as well. So now Allegiance is actually ahead here. Despite a rough early game, they have recovered beautifully here in the mid.
Yeah, they're getting nice picks. They're just counter trading really well. They're just better trading. They're better at trading than Immortals is. And as a result, they're winning a lot of these key fights. And this is exactly what Immortals do. They need to abuse their lane. They have an ADC. Push the lane right now. There's no jungle for Murad to contest. They need to shove these lanes and force these towers.
Because we look at this ADC and you're calling out KZ Fox and saying, I need you to do more here. We really do need to see more here. This Lindis has been so quiet so far in this game. A little bit of split pushing has been going on, trying to get some towers as the fights have been progressing, but he needs to be doing so much more. He is the damage of Immortals, but Bobo is now finding the damage of Allegiance here in the mid game. He was feeling really confident with some great early game picks, but ALG is getting just tanky enough to survive the initial barrage. This is allowing them to turn and get these picks here. We're looking at the mid, the vision coming from KZ Fox, the reinitiation. ALG Rest trying to go in, trying to find, there's the stun. Neo is going to be the target. The Alice is getting absolutely wrecked. And X-Tier's not finding that crucial shock, but as a team, the side of Legion's grouping up and a lot of splash damage coming from Immortals as well as actually trying to counter on this. The Zenio ult is coming in, but too little too late as Rest is going to fall. The Being Bro not there in time, but is actually going to try and survive through this, but Dave is now the target as they're turning onto this. Tulin is going to fall as well. No, barely surviving. Nicely done.
Yeah, that was a crazy fight back and forth. Rocker got in the back. Lindis, KZ is trying to secure these kills. They're getting so low, and Rest still has his ultimate, so they knew they couldn't win these fights. Teamy did not even use his Being a Bro ultimate to revive his heroes. So this is a really tough spot. Bobo getting caught out like that and trying to go into the team, that was not a smart play. Because he got killed, he gave the advantage over to Legions. Immortals has got to be careful. They got to stop getting picked off like this one by one. They just need to fight as a team. They need to clear jungle and push Murad. ALG, they need to do exactly what they're doing. Continue to punish Immortals' mistakes. The over-aggression, the rotations that they're doing are working so well, catching out Bobo and X-Tiers really, really well. And because of these kills that they're getting, they're pushing their advantage even more.
Yeah, this is really huge. Moving into this, you know, Lindis, she's going to scale really well, but ALG as well, having that Murad, they're going to look to scale too. I mean, if Immortals keeps grouping up, if Neo kept stepping far forward, he's just going to get chunked again and again here. He's feeling really confident on this Alice, but he needs to make sure that the team is with him. We talk about the ability to team fight. We talk about Allegiance, the time they spent together, and there is Neo in the wrong bush, wrong place, wrong time, and Rest is here. The Abyssal Dragon is going to go down, and somehow Neo survives, so totally worth in this situation.
Oh.
Space created, and X-Tier's, you know, doing his thing.
Yeah, X-Tier's needs to land these Mallet ultimates. He's missing and whiffing a lot of it, and those are game changers. Those are game-changing ults, and it's not up right now, so they need to be very careful. And look at it, they're going to rush the Dark Slayer. This is actually a little risky, but it could come out for a huge play. for Allegiance here.
I actually really don't like this play from Allegiance. If there's a chance for Immortals to really put ahead in this game, it is right here. The stun going in. Rocker is getting so low. He's the key damage. The Zennial ult is coming in, but Immortals is collapsing. Here we go. See if he's going to drop. This is exactly what they need to do. Dave is there. He's trapped. It doesn't matter. The rest of is getting very low. XC is going to try and chase this out. MTS is in the back. He's trying to run away, trying to survive for your life, but Casey Fox gets the kills while rotating to the top. That is the full route. Allegiance in full retreat. Immortals with a beautiful collapse. The Dark Slayer. That was everything they needed. That was Immortals pulling ahead in this game. A beautiful rotation. A terrible call from Allegiance and getting punished for it dearly.
Yeah, that was so risky. They put Immortals right back in the lead, and they're going to lose all their towers here because Lindis is going to be able to push this and potentially end the game here. Yeah, this is too much. Rocker cannot do anything. Rocker is so weak as Marad. He'll not be. And look at that stun. Very well done by Immortals, and they're able to take game 2 from Allegiance. Wow, what a comeback.
We predicted game number 3, and Immortals was listening. They are going to make it happen. They take game 2 and bring us on to game 3 in our grand finals.
What is life without a little bit of excitement? Well, ladies and gentlemen, that excitement, of course, has to happen in the final match of the regular season. Week number 6, Immortals evens up the game and forces us to a game number 3. You predicted it, we wanted it to happen, and it did just that.
Yeah, that was a crazy game. Allegiance threw away some bans there, you know, playing a little overconfident, but Immortals showed signs of life in the early game, and then that fight that turned it around because it was going the other way. And I love how Allegiance was able to put up a huge fight and dominate Immortals most of the mid game, but then that late game fight is what it came down to.
I think a lot of this was Rest not being on a hero he was as comfortable with. I feel a lot of it was them trying to make some fancy plays with Rocker. I feel like a lot of this was the value that Bobo was able to get when MTS exited the lane. There's a lot of factors in that game. I don't want to take anything away from Immortals by any stretch, but I feel as much as it was Immortals winning this game, it was also a lot of Allegiance losing this game.
But we've talked about it every single week in every single matchup that the Allegiance team plays. If you can get ahead early, you're going to find success. Immortals in the earlier stages were put right off of the front because of their successful plays. Bobo doing just that.
Yeah, this was crazy. Watch how Bobo comes in there and look at the damage that he does. Gets killed from behind, gets Rocker, secures the kill, and they take jungle from here. And this is where Immortals needs to shine. Their side laners have the most stats. X-Tier's game 1, game 2 is Bobo. They need to be very careful. If they lose side lane and get ganked all the time, Allegiance is successfully ganking them on side lane all the time. So the weakness on Immortals is actually the side lanes now, and that was a point of strength. So if Allegiance continues this trend and comes back in the game, they're going to take game 3.
I mean, we looked at it, we saw Neo and Dave. They came in sort of the new faces, you know, they're fresh and clean. Pulling that mid lane, that support, having a lot of fun. I mean, we know how solid the rest of the squad of Immortals is. They just need to pull themselves up to that level as well. I don't even think it's necessarily pulling them up to that level. It's really just finding the synergy. They have the individual mechanics. They have the individual playmaking potential. They just need to bring it together as a squad and as a unit. And we saw some glimmers of it there in that second game. But again, that was a lot of Allegiance making mistakes. And again, Immortals doing a very good job of capitalizing on it. I also need to see, keep up the consistency of Immortals, finding those openings, forcing those errors. They need to keep doing that if they can. Allegiance may lose.
Well, I asked you the question, can Immortals sneak a game off of Allegiance? They do that. Do they have what it takes to sneak one more?
Yeah, they do. Allegiance needs to actually utilize their ban because I feel like they were wasting a ban on Scud.
No.
I think they were trolling.
No.
They were trolling.
Very off meta there, but that's a testament. You can't really fool around with
I hate it. This is my biggest pet peeve when you disrespect your opponents. That's what happens. At this level, everybody is good enough that if you give them an inch, they will take a mile. Allegiance, I hope you learned your lesson. Don't do that again. You just looked silly. Just saying.
Statement from Invernum, Paul himself.
Statement indeed. We're going to write that one down for the books, but as players are getting loaded into the lobby for game number 3, 1 and 2 doesn't matter. It's now a winner takes all. Immortals, 1 week number 1, defeating Allegiance 2-0. Every single week since then, the next 4 weeks to follow, it has been an Allegiance victory. So now the question becomes, is Immortals capable of taking the final week of the season?
Yeah, they win early game, but they need to not throw it away. I feel like the side laners get ganked, and then you lose the early game lead. AOG rotates through Dragon. They win Dragon side of the map. That's something you cannot do if you're ahead. And AOG is just so precise. They're much more surgical. They understand which side of the map to win, and Dragon is everything in the first 3-minute mark. You win Dragon side, you take Dragon control, you win the Dragon. That's going to allow you to snowball and fight back, and that's exactly what Immortals needs to counter.
That they need to do that here, absolutely. But I want to point out an interesting statistic that just came to mind, and I believe this is correct. I believe that this is the first game Allegiance has lost in 4 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah,
This is
five
literally
weeks.
5
Yeah,
weeks,
yeah.
since week number 2. Yeah,
Yeah,
this
week
is the
number 2, yeah.
since week number 2. This is the first game that they have lost, and they truly lost this one. Immortals rolled them in that towards that like mid-late game. Like, that was crazy. Good early game. They kind of stabilized a bit, but then when Rest is on a hero he's not feeling comfortable on, clearly not getting the practice on the teamie as much. And this is an interesting balance, because we talk about this in drafts, the idea that do you pick what's meta, or do you pick what you're best at? Like, on paper, teamie's like the best hero.
Yeah.
One of the best heroes.
Yeah.
But if you can't play him to that maximum potential, does it matter?
Yeah, and look, they take away Zenio here. Zenio was a huge reason why Allegiance was able to keep Rocker alive so long. So Zenio off the map, are they going to first pick the Ryoma here? They're going to first pick the Tulin. Who knows what they're going to first pick? Or maybe they may even take Alice, because AOG needs Alice to win, I feel. Alice was such a key part of victories for both of them. Yep, they're going to go and secure the Alice right off the bat.
Like, both of us know what we're talking about. Put him on a hero he's comfortable. I think you're 100%
Yeah,
correct.
and
Alice
I
was
love
crucial.
Immortals who take Thane. Like, take Ryoma, take Mal. Yeah, take some really solid side laners here to dominate and deny the combo that they want to run. I like Ryoma Tulin. That is an aggressive early game composition. So against an Alice, pick the Thane, get the Ryoma, get a lot of in your face against this Alice here, and just engage really hard, because they're probably going to try to play more in here. And look at that. This is still a big combo. Alice has a stun, Lubu has a knockup, Ronoma has a stun as well. They're going to pick a very heavy CC composition from Allegiance.
And that's exactly what they need to do. They need to be shut down Immortals. They need to not to play their game. There's a definite lack of CC in that last game for them as well, and I think it kind of cost them a bit here. We see Malik being hovered as well.
Wow,
this is a lot of CC coming out from Immortals right now. The Lindis as well. This is going to give them a great early game, a great mid game, a great late game. This is a fantastic composition.
Yeah, and Lindis is much better in KZ Fox too, I feel. And Violet is going to be picked, and then the Flash as well. We saw the damage that he can do with a Hissy Fit there. That's going to be huge. And Tulin is going to be a big difference maker in the early game here. And Omar, wow, this is an extremely early game comedy. Every single hero on Immortals is high early. They have to win the invade. They have to shut down jungle. If they do not win early game, they will lose to Allegiance in the late game.
Yeah, I mean, as good as Lindis is, she just does not scale nearly hard enough to counter what Rocker's going to be bringing out here. As good as KZ Fox is, he is going to be shut down there. So 2 very strong drafts coming in from both these teams. I like it. This is all business. It's time to go. If there was a draft to go out on, a draft to put all the marbles on, I think these are 2 very solid examples of that. I love it. Both these teams say, it's game time.
It's game time indeed. It is the final match, no matter what, for the regular season here for the Valor Series, and what better way to do it than sending it the distance. Game number 3. We want to know what you think at home. This is the last match, and so importance is of the essence. Head over to Twitter, use the hashtag Valor Series, maybe figure out how I can get my voice back. It's gone, it's away. But with that, we're going to get ourselves loaded into the game. Gentlemen, we have been watching these 2 teams go at it head-to-head in every single finals match for the last 6 weeks. Is there anything that we can expect from this game?
Yeah, draft timers. Immortals wins the first 7 minutes of the game. If they don't snowball, they lose. Allegiance makes it past 7 minutes and doesn't lose a lot of towers, they're going to win.
We'll see if they can pull it out here as well. I mean, I think there'll be a certain poetry to Immortals winning the first week and also winning the last, ALG taking everyone in between. There would definitely be some interesting poetry to that as well. Or if Allegiance says, you know what, we're just going to shut that right on down, and we're just going to play our game and take the win here, as they are looking to invade in the jungle here, going in. Sleepy and Dave in the mid, but a strong engage coming into the top lane as well. Neo going to be the target here, as they're looking to rotate. Interesting sort of aggression coming in from both sides.
Yeah, that was an interesting engagement. They gave first blood over, which is really bad. They have an early comp. They need to invade, and that's exactly what Dave's going to do. But however, he's not with Neo. They need to be on the same page here, and Neo's going to fall. This is not what you want to happen for an early game composition. Bobo falling early game first blood is really bad for an early game composition, and a 2-man jungle invade, cutting the lane like that, was a little interesting strategy coming from Immortals.
Yeah, that was definitely interesting here. I mean, ALG seemed perfectly content to just back up, reset this. I think they appreciate when they are strong in this series right now, and they realize that in the early game, they're going to be at a slight disadvantage. However, they are going to try and contest this somewhat here. They don't want to give up too much free objectives as KO is going in. Nice damage, but they see the full committal now for the side of ALG. Sleepy is there trying to find KZ Fox. No, who barely is able to survive. Nice peel, nice defense coming in from the side of Immortals. But KO potentially going to look. Oh, it's going in there, finds Neo, almost finding KZ Fox. That could have been huge.
And that's huge right there. And look at Dave. He's going to get caught in mid lane, and that is really unfortunate. Bobo is not going to be able to do anything. Look at the stuns. Rest on this. Alice is a monster. Oh my goodness, that combo. This, again, is not looking good. An early game composition losing to a late game is really, really bad. Immortals has to win the next team fights, or else this is going to be an easy win for ALG.
Can you beat ALG when they have rest on Alice? I mean, that's the big question right now. You said it so beautifully. There's a reason this is first picked. When he gets this hero, he is just so scary. And I joked about Alice earlier on in the season. I you know, I haven't seen her played very well. I hadn't seen, you know, really great Alice players, but we're seeing in the right hands, this hero is such a monster.
Yeah, high skill cap, and if he can execute on Alice, it's just a game changer. And this is something that Alice in the late game is going to do so much work that they got to be very careful with, because Rest is so proficient. It's literally, he carries the team with his Alice. These stuns are allowing his team to easily follow up and get these kills back to back to back.
Back to back to back indeed, and level 4 is just around the corner. There it is. So that's going to be another tool in the arsenal that ALG is bringing in here, but neither side really going to look to overcommit here, over-aggress. You do have a very nice job from Rest there, being this sort of mid-lane partner with Sleepy. We talk about this a lot, and now we see the engage going in there. Rest is trying to survive through this. The Hissy Fit is down. Rocker has joined Sleepy with the back, but it is going to be Rest falling. Rocker trying to survive through this, but a beautiful timing there. The second X-Tiers has that shock online. They make good use of it, and they're looking for more.
They need to follow. Neo has such a good engagement, but they got to follow up. And look at KO. They're going as Wonder Woman. However, he's going to get caught and be killed by Dave potentially here. And look at X-Tiers. He's trying to get this, and he lands the cleave and secures a kill. This is huge for Mo. It's going to put them back in the game. This is exactly the fight that they needed to win.
They did indeed. However, Bobo was picked up in that top lane, actually dying solo. That was not what he needed to do there. MTS able to pick that up. Nicely done there on the Lubu. Sleepy going to be stealing out the health there, and Mitch is getting as much a little advantage as they can as they're just getting this pressure. So trading back and forth here, 4 kills to 2, and almost 1K gold lead coming in now for the side of ALG. This is not what Immortals wanted. They needed to be ahead here in the early game, but they look to try and pick up a kill here on the. Oh no! Sleepy survives the flash, showing why he's the fastest man alive.
Yeah, that was a crazy engage there. Cyclone getting out just in time and saving. And right now the side lane, like you said, Bobo needs to win side lane, because that's something that Immortals is really strong on in week 1. Their side laners were so strong, and I feel like Bobo and X-Tiers, they need to step up their game here. They gotta land these key ultimates. They gotta rotate and help and not get caught out, and make sure they win their side lane so they can rotate and collapse onto AOG.
It's interesting because, you know, X-Tiers, we've been really quiet on him so far in this series, and it's interesting seeing the heroes that he's feeling really comfortable on. But we'll put a pin in that for a moment as Sleepy goes in, does so much damage to the backline of Immortals. Neo needs to now fully retreat, but MTS has joined the fray. The Red Stallion has arrived. The Conqueror is going to be instantly conquered as the turn is here. Slight miscommunication, but X-Tiers goes in. The stun is there. Sleepy going to try and disengage the background. We do have the speed. He's going to disengage. We do have Rocker, though, trying to survive, trying to sustain. He's going to get locked down, though, by X-Tiers chasing him. He's able to get over the wall, trying to reset this, but Rest and Sleepy maybe going to look to go in. A back and forth scuffle breaking out here, but the kill does go the way of Immortals.
Yeah, and as a result of them being distracted, KO gets the Dragon side. Again, Immortals is losing Dragon side of the map. This is not what they want. And if Allegiance gets the Dragon over again, this is going to be a really tough match. But they got to take this Dragon here quickly before Allegiance can respond.
Allegiance is going to look to try and go in here. Sleepy has arrived, going to try and get that initial poke, trying to set this up. Rest is doing a great job as well. Immortals stalling this out as best they can. The stun in onto Sleepy, but Neo is going to be the target as Allegiance is pushing in there in full force. Look at the health bar difference here. Look at the disparity, and Allegiance taking it. Sleepy going so aggressive. The Cyclone won the back in. Neo is going to be the target. He's going to drop great Hissy Fit as well. X-Tiers trying to retreat. KZ Fox to the backline. The great stun, the follow-up. KO is trying to get this out. The shield is getting so much value as well. X-Tiers barely able to survive. Allegiance getting so much value, but Immortals barely able to endure. sure.
Yeah, that was so risky there. They're going to lose another tower here in mid lane. This is really dangerous. They can lose a second tower if they don't rotate to save the mid lane tower. Bobo is not able to take a tower and trade, and this is looking so good for Allegiance right now. Nice engage there, punishing a greedy dragon. And KZ Fox getting caught out. Oh my goodness, he's so low. He needs to back off immediately.
But so does Rocker, because X-Tears has arrived. The big cleave, the heal as KO and crew are trying to retreat. The shot getting no value, but a nice stun. The follow-up is there. Rest, the shields, the value, the sunshine, and the darkness is falling on Immortals as X-Tears is in full retreat. But somehow, with the rotation, Dave is there, able to pick up a counter kill as well. But now Immortals overstepping, trying to get too much here. They need to take the small wins when they get them because they're overextending so much. But finally able to get decent value as maybe Sleepy will fall as well.
Yeah, and look at Sleepy. He's going to be able to get out, and look at the damage he's doing. He's able to jump out just in time, and MTS needs to be the focus here. Oh my God, KZ Fox needs to get out right away.
He needs to run. He will have the tread softly, able to get himself out, dodging through these bushes. He needs to be so careful because Sleepy is also pretty speedy there on the flash, looking to try and chase this down. Can he get the kill? He's looking for it. A couple more autos. No! Beautiful hero from Neo, able to get KZ Fox out of a precarious situation, but MTS is looking for more.
Yeah, what a crazy back and forth. Man, these games go any way, but Allegiance is ahead. They're winning these team fights. Again, they're constantly catching Immortals off guard. They're the ones initiating first. I feel like Immortals needs to be more aggressive. They need to be the ones initiating before Allegiance is. And every time Allegiance initiates first and rotates together as a unit, they're going to win the fight every single time. And I feel like what Immortals needs to do is get ahead of it. They're steps behind, and they need to catch up.
I feel like what we're witnessing now is a game of chess. And that's every single time that ALG goes in, Immortals is able to find some counter pressure. And then ALG backs up, and Immortals dives in trying to find it. And then ALG collapses, and it's like, oh no, Immortals is on the backstep. But then Immortals is able to take it when ALG slightly oversteps, and we're just seeing a back and a forth and a back and a forth, and it's a war of attrition, death by 1,000 cuts. And both of these teams have the potential to take an outright teamfight win, but it's just, I don't want to say it's sloppy, I just want to say both teams are playing so calculated.
Yeah, they are, and Allegiance has better rotations. They're exerting more dominance right now. They're rotating better as a unit. And look at that stun. They're going to try to take this tower. Wonder Woman's by herself, and this is a really good push here.
This is a great opportunity. The bracelets come in. KO was going to be able to survive, but the minions are there. And that was enough to force them back. And now Dave able to get himself out of hissy fit, but he's walked right into the Wonder Woman, and the ult is there as well, locking him down. That is Dave going to fall. He's looked so strong all day, but he's just looking a little bit flustered here in this game number 3. This is not what they need. They need him to be a leader. They need him to be calm, cool, and collected, because right now, ALG is looking on fire. The heal is there. The bait is real, and they are ripping Immortals apart.
Oh no, X-Tears misses his ultimate. That's really bad for Malik. They need to get out. They need to stop the bleed at this point. They're giving out too many deaths, but Bobo gets a kill, and Rocker's good, but X-Tears is able to survive. Again, these misplays here, they got to land their abilities. Like, you cannot win a fight against a top-tier team if you cannot land your abilities, and I feel like it's really causing Immortals to lose in a lot of team fights because synergy is not there. They're not comboing their abilities. Allegiance, again, playing so well into Immortals.
I feel like a lot of this is his X-Tears just not being that dominant side laner that we're used to seeing from him. We sang his praises so many weeks, but he's just not really being a factor. The shocks just not landing. I think a lot of this is rest with the speed boost from the friendship, able to get them out of position and just the overall positioning of Allegiance as a whole. But still, that is a huge AoE. You cannot be missing that here in these fights. Suijay, you are absolutely correct.
Yeah,
However,
that is the game changer.
Yeah.
The ultimates, Malik is so dangerous and first pick often in EU and in first phase of the draft because that shock ultimate has such a wide radius. If he lands that, they need to combo the CC, slow someone, land that CC in somebody and get them and kill them because it does a lot of damage as well. On top of that, Malik is so tanky. When he lands a cleave on multiple heroes, he's gonna do so much. Like Bobo getting caught out again. This is not what they want. They gotta be super careful here. Yeah,
they need to be careful. As Sleepy's also getting some nice pressure. KZ Fox with the vision, dodging in and out of these bushes. The early heal being popped there for Neo, so that's a great cooldown. Forced out by the side of ALG as well as they're pushing in. The towers are starting to fall as well. Sleepy is coming online with that flash. He's able to do so much damage here. Put him on an aggressive hero, and with the team able to back him up with Alice being on his side, he is so terrifying. The Dark Slayer is going to be the target here for the side of Allegiance, but Immortals is collapsing. This is where they got the value in the last game. Once again, a risky potential call coming in here from ALG. They need to be careful. KO's the target, but Neo instantly annihilated. ALG this time able to rally. The crits coming in, coming online. The Dark Slayer lies forgotten, but Immortals lies in pieces as ALG are dying surviving with impunity. KZ Fox as well, getting solo, potentially gonna fall, and it is Rest, putting them to rest up in this top lane. Allegiance looking so strong.
Wow, what a crazy. Neo goes in there, and then they instantly focus. KO is able to survive. They're trying to focus the Wonder Woman, and I feel like their target needs to be Rocker. They need to instantly delete Rocker and then deal with the Wonder Woman. Look at her build. She's super tanky. She has a lot of defensive items. They should not be focusing all their abilities onto Wonder Woman. That's what they want you to do. If you don't get the Violet or you don't kill the Flash, it's GG. Look, Flash has no defense. Violet barely has no defense as well. Wonder Woman is tanky. She has a lot of armor. She has Gilded Greaves, a lot of magic, a lot of health. That's not the person you want to be focusing in these fights.
But I feel like a lot of this is just sort of the position that they're putting themselves in. I mean, KO is being that frontliner for the team. Now we're seeing Exterior's cut out, the Red Stallion, the knock, the follow-up, the damage, the bracelets, and that is just perfectly chained CC. There's literally not a moment, there is not a frame, there is not an instant in time when he could have gotten himself out of that. Exterior's just getting absolutely bopped. As we see the beautiful chain CC coming in from Allegiance, but he just should not have been there. You should know better at this stage in the game. In 18 kills to 7, we are seeing Allegiance fully coming online.
Yeah, this is so dangerous. They have Darkslayer, and you cannot die with the Darkslayer buff. If you give a kill over, Allegiance is going to completely abuse it. And with Violet in the late game, it's GG. There's no way they're going to come out of this alive.
Look at the tower just getting absolutely chunked. The stuns are there as well, as they are pushing in onto the core. Rocker is hitting like a freight train right now, and with that, game number 3, once again, your champions, Allegiance, take it here, week number 6 of the Valor series for North America.